baby, listen to me speaking. No matter what, just let it fly.
Pop, Perswayable. What's going on, everybody? So let's talk about the first officer. First officer, he has a little pocket watch because that does a lot for you in this world. Why doesn't he carry a smartphone? It can do so much more. All right, anyway. Essentially, if you use the skill and there's no one around you, they see your illusion after a blackout. Which is pretty cool, I guess. So you guys can pretty much read what his skill is going to do. If there's other survivors who are around him, they all pretty much have this like weird drunken version of, if any of you have ever seen Naruto, it's pretty much his shadow clone jutsu. Except, it's just, I don't know why I'm laughing. All right, whatever. So that's his first skill in a nutshell. Let's move on to the second skill. I'll show that in a video a little bit later, of what it looks like to actually have to deal with that hypnotism and what it does to your screen, because it could be a little annoying, not gonna lie, but nothing too catastrophic for sure. Second skill pretty much delays the rocket speed going up in the air, decreases decoding speed by 20%. This kind of kills the character in my opinion, but we'll talk about that later. And when you get hit, your hypnotism sucks. Okay, so this, I'm going to just show you an example of what happens when they decide to use it. This is just in a regular match. Your screen goes black for a little bit, and then, ooh, look at that, Perswayable missing the foggy blade. We should do a review my game analysis. I wanted to show you guys what it's like so you can hit the clone right there. You can briefly see the clone before he activates it, so we're going to wait, and here we go. We're going to wait for him to activate it. And it kind of does a good job right here. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. But once it hits an object, it's done. You know what I mean? It stops moving. And what really sucks is that if you're running in the wide open, you already know where they're running. You already kind of know where they're going to run to. You can already see this guy stop moving. So how about we talk about the character? I think we should talk about the character. This is a regular quick match, and we'll talk about some of the kiting that I'm doing. Before I talk about this character, I do want to thank you all for the 20,000 subs. I'll try to think of something creative to do. I'm still in a campground right now. But yeah, I love you all. I hope you understand that. Your loved ones are incredibly blessed to have you. But yeah, so in regards to this character, so this isn't like an official analysis or anything. I'm so busy. A lot of people always ask me my opinion about what we're seeing with this character, etc. I'll be very honest with I'll be honest with you. So with this character, what really, really bothers me about him is that 20% debuff to decoding. I don't like that. You guys know my style. I don't like characters like this. Now, you can get away with Mercenary. All right? That's another game that I play. You can get away with Mercenary because he's a god at kiting. And we're actually seeing, in the top competitive gameplay, we're seeing the Chinese teams actually banning him second round. Another thing that has been being discussed is whether in the future they're going to add more characters that are banned in high competitive gameplay. Right now we see after tier 5, we see one survivor and one hunter being banned, and there's talks about whether they're going to increase that to 2 survivors or 2 hunters or whatever. So the question is really, where is this character's placement? Now, this character is really built upon the idea that they can go in for the rescue. I mean, if you look at how this character is built, I mean, the idea that you can black the screen, the idea that you can put, if you use hypnotism again, then you can pretty much black the screen and then make both survivors look like they're the same, right? Which can be pretty deadly if executed correctly, right? So for those who don't know what I'm talking about, when there are other survivors near you, when you activate your stopwatch, or pocket watch rather, all of the players look the same. It's like Naruto's shadow clone jutsu, right? So that's important because he is going to be ideally a rescue character. And so we all know that he's not going to replace Mercenary. The question is he eventually going to be a rescue character that is going to be the backup option to Mercenary if and when Mercenary is banned? Again, we don't see this a lot in top competitive gameplay, although a lot of Rippers are banning Mercenary more and more now. Because if you have a Ripper, then you know for a fact that, hey, if I get rid of Mercenary and I'm good with my Foggy Blade because I have 40 ping, then there's really virtually no character that can go and save. And the problem with Coordinator now is that Trump's card pretty much makes her useless. You know, you just use Trump's card and then you use Excitement, and then they use the flare gun, you use your Excitement, and then you can follow up with a kill. So that's why Ripper is going to be banned pretty much number one every time now. So what you see here, really, I mean, I don't really have any great gameplay footage of showing me doing the rescue and using the stopwatch, or rather pocket watch. This is the second time I did that, to pretty much do that Shadow Clone Jutsu. But he is ideally going to be a rescue character. I mean, really, whether you like it or not, that's how his skill is supposed to be built on. So then the question is it going to be left or right or down and right? I mean, when you guys saw me kiting, I was using left and right. But if he's going to be a backup rescue character, then he should be down and right. I mean, he has a 20% decode debuff. Why are you going to use him when Enchantress doesn't? Enchantress has no decode debuff. Why are you going to use him when Prospector has no decode debuff? Why are you going to use him when Perfumer have no decode debuff? Especially since his skills pretty much lag him behind 1 second, which really isn't that big of a deal. You just got to get close to him and you'll do all right. But let me make this clear. Let me make it very clear. I'm going to show some footage right now. Hold on. Let me stop this match. I'm going to show you some footage. If you rescue somebody and use your pocket watch, like you're about to see now, and they have the Shadow Clone Jutsu, they do not have the injured state animation. You cannot tell the difference between them. So this is why Ripper is going to be the biggest counter to this survivor. And the reason being so is that you can use your Foggy Blade to randomly hit one of them. Watch. So they use it. I have no idea who is who. No idea. That was all luck. That was all luck right there. There's no skill involved in that. So if you ban the Ripper and you use this character, it requires the character to use an actual real attack. Maybe Spider will have a little bit more flexibility using a web shot too. But here we go again. I have no idea who's who. I just get lucky here. So really, Spider and Ripper will be probably some of the biggest counters to him. Maybe Feaster a little bit in terms of the actual, like, using the tentacle. But really, he's going to be a rescue character. That's what he's built for. And so I'm glad that the devs did that. I'm glad that when you look at the... So again, so people, in case you're confused, right? If you use your stopwatch, or damn it, I did it again, but I'm not getting rid of it. If you use your pocket watch, your screen goes black as a hunter. If you're by yourself, you spawn one Shadow Clone Jutsu. It'll keep running straight until it hits an object and then it stops. We saw that in the beginning of the video. Now, if you have characters who are around you and you activate the stopwatch, damn it, I'm so stupid. The damn stupid pocket watch. Why do I say that? It's ridiculous. If you use the pocket watch, it spawns everybody to look like you. Even if they're injured, there's no way that the hunter can differentiate. Now, the only way the hunter can differentiate is if you guys are running in opposite directions, you activate it and nobody is moving. So, you know, there are ways. You have to be a little creative with the skill. So when you look at the character, there's a 20% decode debuff, which means that you should probably go in the rescue because Enchantress, Prospector, Perfumer, Mechanic needs to go in for the rescue. She's a rescue character. But the point is that none of them have them decode debuffs anymore. Or at all, really. I guess Mechanic does when people are injured. That's why she goes in for the rescue. But anyways, the point is that with Prospector, Enchantress, Perfumer, they're not decode debuff. You have a 20% decode debuff and your skill set is based around going for the rescue. This is a rescue character. Which I feel bad because in this video you see me kite with a left and right build. And I really feel like this character will have a lot more versatility to try to go in for the rescue, and you need to make sure that you have a down and right build. Which I think I need to do a video because there are people in this game who don't understand that the right build with Kasada, right? You should have on every build. Have that on every build. I don't know why you guys don't have that on every build. If you don't use the right wing, you've already screwed up your character, and that applies to every single character as a survivor. I think this character will have a little bit of potential. I don't like the 20% decode debuff, so this character is really going to be optimized for rescuing, but it's still going to be not as good as somebody like the mercenary. So the real question is that we have to decide as a community going forward, especially with competitive gameplay, is will this be a backup to the mercenary? And you can use them to kite. The problem is that if you use both of your pocket watches in the beginning kiting, then you have nothing late game for the rescue. So you got to be careful, because if a hunter uses teleport, which doesn't really happen too much, unless it's like a gay show, you got to worry about Trump's card. Not a lot of Trump card users are using teleport in the beginning of the game. They use it in the end game. But if you can get this character to use both of their pocket watches, then really you eliminate any sort of versatility that they have for the rescue. Yeah, when they go in for the rescue, there's a 1 second delay, right? So when you see my character go white, there's a 1 second delay. Really, all the hunter needs to do is just get close and swing, and usually they're going to hit you. Even if you try, I mean, you can try to juke too. That's a thing. But now hunters are going to realize, hey, there's a 1 second delay. I gotta predict the movement. Make sure I don't hit anything and keep swinging. So I think he's relatively interesting. I think he can be fun. Do I think he's going to be S tier? Absolutely not. Do I think he's going to be A tier? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe more like B tier. He's going to be a good backup character. That 20% debuff kills him. In fact, I think Prospector should have the 20% debuff. Those magnets are ridiculous. That's just my personal opinion. But in regards to this character, I mean, right here, the Feaster has no idea where to swing. You're probably like, what is the Feaster doing? Yeah, well, I use my skill. I use my pocket watch. He couldn't see me. He didn't know where to swing. So that pocket watch can help you kite. The problem is that you don't really want to always use a character that utilizes something like this for such a drastic decode debuff. The idea is that there are plenty of good kiters in this game that don't have a decode debuff, right? You technically have Seer, you have Perfumer, you have Prospector, you have Enchantress, after the first rescue, right? This character, I guess, is a little bit better in the sense that they can last a little bit longer early game compared to an Enchantress, because Enchantress doesn't have anything. You have to actually earn that stun. But with this character, it's really going to be primarily a rescue character, in my opinion. I hope you guys like some of the video here, just doing a regular discussion with this character. Everyone always asks me my opinion on new characters, and I just wanted to share a little bit of my opinion. You guys all have a good day. Please leave your comments. I would love to hear your opinions. Take care, guys.